A large fleet of warships moves through space. Inside one of the ships, a girl reports that a wormhole is opening. The captain is shocked as a bright light appears. Panicking, he calls it the Black Mecha and the Plunderer. He fears a whole fleet is coming, but realizes there is only one mecha. He orders all ships to fire, but their attacks miss. The Black Mecha moves forward and destroys the main ship's control room with a single strike. More alien ships arrive to stop it, but it dodges their attacks and fights back, easily overpowering them. As reinforcements come, the Black Mecha destroys the main ship, causing a massive explosion that wipes out the surrounding enemies. Watching the destruction, the Black Mecha's pilot, Liam Sarah Banfield, laughs and says, "You're all so weak, but this is amusing." A hologram of Amagi appears, confirming that the wormhole opened at the perfect spot. Liam praises her and tells her to proceed with the next phase. Meanwhile, Liam's massive fleet, led by Amagi, moves into position. Next, we see Liam's mecha team, led by Christina Leda Rosabrea. Amagi tells her to prepare for another wormhole opening. Christina replies that she is ready. When the wormhole opens, she advances and joins Liam's battle. She easily defeats enemy mechas, but soon finds herself surrounded. Liam comes to help, destroying the mechas around her. Amagi commands the fleet to fire, and their attack wipes out the entire enemy fleet. Liam laughs, saying, "Did you see that? I'm an evil lord. I can't do anything, and these ships are fantastic." A hologram of Nias Carlin appears, reminding Liam that these ships were made in the 7th Weapons Factory. Liam, still in battle, tells her to leave, but she insists, offering to build more. To get rid of her, Liam orders 200 more ships, making Nias happy. More wormholes open, and enemy mechas emerge. Liam is excited as he easily destroys them. The mechas fire together, wiping out the remaining ships. Suddenly, a large wormhole opens above Liam and a powerful cannon appears. Liam remembers his past life. He was once Kamazaki, an overworked man who struggled to support his family. His friend Nidida sent him a video of a mecha while he was commuting home. His job was tough, but he endured it for his wife Mika and daughter Konami. Mika greeted him warmly, telling him that Konami wanted a boat. Kamazaki promised to think about it during his vacation. Seeing his daughter asleep with her dog-shaped doll made him happy, so he later bought her a real dog, remembering his own childhood pet. Mika joked that he would have to work even harder now, but he was content seeing his family happy. The next day, at work, his boss yelled at him for missing a call. A coworker told him that the company president was always out golfing on Fridays. Despite a bad day, he went home and found joy in his family. Mika reheated food for him and told him Konami had joined a sports club. Later, Kamazaki went out to meet a client but received another message from Nidida about a new mecha model. He smiled but didn't reply, feeling exhausted. Kamazaki gets off the train and looks for his client's meeting place. However, he sees Mika sitting outside a cafe with another man. He wonders, Mika should have taken Konami to the gym. Who is this man? Hiding, he decides not to confront her. When he returns home, Mika and Konami are sitting on the sofa. Mika goes to get food while Kamazaki asks about Konami's day at the gym. Mika tells him that Konami won her match. Kamazaki plays with his daughter, expressing his love for her. He thinks about asking Mika about the man, but chooses to stay silent. Later, while working on his computer, he notices it won't go into sleep mode. A coworker tells him to turn it off manually. Kamazaki meets his client again and feels relieved when he doesn't see Mika at the cafe this time. But then, he hears her voice on the phone, talking to the same man. Hiding again, he watches in shock as Konami runs up to the man, takes his hand, and calls him daddy. Kamazaki is devastated. He tries to convince himself that Konami was just playing a game. Suddenly, his boss interrupts, scolding him for wasting time. His boss also complains about how long his computer takes to start up. Kamazaki tries to focus on work, but soon Mika calls him, saying Konami had an accident. Rushing to the hospital, Kamazaki learns that Konami is in surgery. The doctor says she needs blood and asks about their blood types. Kamazaki replies that he is AB, while Mika is O, but then the doctor asks Mika to donate because Konami's blood type doesn't match Kamazaki's. Kamazaki realizes that Konami can't be his biological daughter. At home, Kamazaki confronts Mika about the man she was meeting. Mika refuses to answer. When Kamazaki demands the truth, Mika claims he was always too busy and didn't give them time. Kamazaki defends himself, saying he worked hard for their family, but Mika argues that his salary was low and nothing he did made her happy. Konami sits nearby, flipping through a magazine. Mika then announces she wants a divorce. Kamazuki is in shock. As Mika prepares to leave with Konami, Kamazuki tries to stop them, insisting he won't let his daughter go. But when he asks Konami if she wants to stay with him, she hesitates and says she prefers the other daddy. Kamazuki is completely shattered. Back at work, Kamazuki is called in by his boss, who asks why he transferred 50 million yen to a random account. Kamazuki denies it, but his boss tells him the transaction came from his computer. Kamazuki remembers that his computer didn't enter sleep mode, meaning it was left open. Just as he tries to explain, he realizes that his boss set him up. The whole office already knows about it. Fired from his job, Kamazuki is now burdened with debt. Mika divorces him and takes Konami with her. He must now pay alimony and repay the 50 million yen or face a lawsuit. Struggling, Kamazuki takes on multiple part-time jobs. He receives another message from Nidada about a new mecha release, but he is too depressed to reply. The next day, while working, Kamazuki coughs and sees blood. He is exhausted and desperate, thinking about how much he has to work to repay his debts. Returning home, he suddenly finds himself surrounded by a bright light. At that moment, he notices something on his computer. His boss was the one who transferred the money. Then, he sees Mika sipping an expensive drink. She is with the same man, Kamazuki's boss. Watching them happily together, Kamazuki is left completely stunned. Kamazuki breaks down in tears, yelling, "Did you ruin my life for this?" As he realizes his fate, a man suddenly appears, introducing himself as a guide who claims he is here to help. However, he also reveals that he feeds on negative emotions, and Kamazuki's suffering is exactly what he desires. The guide, pleased with Kamazuki's despair, says, "Your pain is delicious, but don't worry, I'll give you something special." Kamazuki doesn't understand what is happening. The guide pulls out a bag filled with posters representing different worlds where he could be reincarnated. Kamazuki asks which world he can go to, one with magic, samurai, the Wild West, or even the age of dinosaurs. As he looks at the options, his eyes land on a world focused on mechatronics and spaceships. Excited, he chooses that world. The guide describes it as a place ruled by nobles and kings across the galaxy. Kamazuki, remembering how he always loved mechatronics and discussed it with Nidada, eagerly signs the contract. His vision fades as the guide disappears, and a bright light bursts from his home, shooting into the sky. The story returns to the present, where a battle is still raging. Liam Sarah Banfield, piloting the Black Mecha, fights fiercely, eventually winning the battle with a final devastating attack. Overjoyed, he declares that no one can surpass him in this world. His fleet arrives through a wormhole, and Liam boards his main ship. Meanwhile, in another realm, Kamazuki is reborn, determined to rule this world with an iron fist. Liam, now a noble in this new world, lies on the roof of a house, reflecting on his past. He remembers that his family rules a planet called Hydra. When he returns home, he is greeted with a birthday celebration. His mother tells him that today is his birthday and presents him with a special gift. She uses magic and leads him to a large present, which turns out to be a remote control. She explains that by using it, Liam can choose and customize a servant to his liking. Astonished, he carefully selects his preferences and places his order. At that moment, his father arrives and gives him an even bigger surprise, the title of Count Banfield. Shocked that he is being made a count at just 5 years old, Liam hesitates. However, his father reassures him that it is nothing to worry about, as he only needs to send them money every month. His mother agrees, saying that this way he can live independently. Seeing the benefits, Liam signs the contract, making his father very happy. His parents then leave for the capital, and Liam is left to rule his domain. Inside, he feels thrilled, realizing he now has full control. He silently thanks the guide for this opportunity. Meanwhile, in his original world, Kamazuki's lifeless body remains, his soul completely gone. The guide rejoices, saying, "He'll never realize he fell into my trap, and I'll keep feeding on his negative emotions forever." He then prepares to finish the remaining work. Elsewhere, Mika is seen talking to Kamazuki's former boss. The boss pretends to feel bad about Kamazuki, but Mika shows no concern, only caring about her new life. She asks what they should do next. The boss, confident, says they can marry soon. Suddenly, authorities appear and arrest him, revealing that they had discovered his scheme to frame Kamazuki. Panicked, the boss insists there is a misunderstanding, but he is taken away. Mika tries to stop them, but it's useless. The guide appears, saying, "This is the kindness you chose. Now, the one who truly loved you is gone." Mika collapses in shock. Back in the new world, the guide watches over Kamazuki, knowing that the long lifespan of people in this world means he will suffer for a very long time, providing an endless supply of negative emotions. Meanwhile, the spirit of a dog appears, looking at Kamazuki before walking away. In another part of this world, a battle erupts between two groups of space pirates. They prepare to plunder everything, using their powerful mechas. The pirate leader confidently believes victory is theirs until a terrifying new mecha appears, single-handedly destroying an entire squad. The battle continues, and we learn that the white mecha is led by Christina, who was once a knight before meeting Liam. Meanwhile, back in Liam's home, he discovers a doll inside a box. Upon seeing it, he feels immense joy, realizing it matches the servant he had requested. Confused about how to open the package, he asks the servant for guidance. The servant explains that the box is designed for security, and that Liam simply needs to place his hand over it. When he does, the box vanishes and the servant emerges. The servant opens her eyes and introduces herself as Amani, greeting Liam politely. Liam feels slightly tense while Amani attempts to provide him with more information, but he gets distracted, inspecting what the doll is made of. He then takes Amani with him, ignoring the servant who tries to stop him. Later that night, Amani gives Liam a massage, which makes him feel relaxed. However, the servant warns him not to rely entirely on artificial intelligence. Liam, puzzled by this statement, asks Amani if she can hurt him, to which she replies that she cannot, as he is her master. Hearing this, Liam feels reassured and enjoys the massage again. Suddenly, the servant explains that the Empire does not favor artificial intelligence. Liam, confused, asks why. The servant tells him that in the past, AI-controlled machines became too powerful, nearly wiping out humanity. A rebellion eventually overthrew them, leading to the establishment of the Empire. Liam then questions why his mother would give him an AI-based servant despite this. The servant hesitates but eventually reveals that the Banfield family is drowning in debt. Liam is shocked to learn that his grandfather and father wasted a vast fortune, leaving him in financial ruin. Frustrated, he asks if his parents intentionally placed him in this dire situation. The servant explains that they had little choice, as most of their wealth was already claimed by creditors. Meanwhile, Amani silently observes the conversation. Looking out the window, Liam sees that the planet offers nothing of value. Elsewhere, inside a bar, a group of locals discusses their new lord, surprised that he is only 5 years old. An old man frowns, commenting that new lords always bring higher taxes. The woman at the bar warns them to be careful, as someone might overhear. Realizing that this planet is a lost cause, and that he has once again been deceived, this time by his own parents, Liam recalls how he was betrayed in his past life. However, when he looks at the calm and quiet Amani, he sees someone who, like him, is unwanted by the world. He tells her, "The Empire doesn't like artificial intelligence, just like no one cared about me. I want us to stay together as partners." The servant tries to dissuade him, but Liam ignores him. Determined to escape debt and rise to power, he tells Amani that she will assist him. He then issues 3 commands for her to always follow, ensuring his safety and his path to leadership. Amani, without hesitation, agrees. Liam acknowledges that while he wants to rule, he currently lacks the necessary skills. Amani suggests that he can acquire knowledge through a time capsule. The servant protests, insisting that allowing an AI to influence governance is dangerous, but Liam refuses to listen. He argues that, according to the laws of the Empire, some forms of AI assistance are allowed. Since he doesn't know how to govern, Amani will help him. As Liam prepares to enter the time capsule, the servant remains concerned, fearing that the wise ones will intervene once they discover Liam's reliance on AI. However, Liam remains resolute. Amani explains that after 6 months in the capsule, he will gain the knowledge equivalent to 10 years. Curious, Liam asks if Amani has emotions. Amani responds that while her intelligence allows her to understand emotions, she does not believe she has true feelings. However, when Liam asked her to stay with him, her processor briefly overloaded. Liam, noticing this, feels slightly embarrassed before finally entering the capsule to begin his training. Before he disappears inside, Amani reassures him that she will be waiting for him. Meanwhile, the guide appears once again, explaining, "I am the guide, and my job is to collect negative emotions. Negative emotions can take many forms. For example, if someone goes to a restaurant and their chopsticks suddenly break, the frustration they feel is a negative emotion. And that too is my food. Liam finally exits the learning capsule and takes a deep breath as he steps out. The first thing he does is turn to Amiji. Finally, how long was I in there? He asks. Amiji replies, nearly 2 years. Liam is surprised, felt like no time had passed at all, but it doesn't matter now. Amiji begins to update him on everything that has changed in his absence. She shows him how the country has improved, which pleases him greatly. He praises her efforts, and Amiji quietly appreciates his recognition. After taking it all in, Liam decides to personally inspect his territory. Amiji first takes him to the spaceport, where satellites are launched. As they observe the lights moving in space, Amiji sighs. I wish I could have shown this to Nia, she says, though she quickly dismisses the thought. Liam watches the spacecraft in action, his excitement growing. I wish I could pilot that, he says. Amiji turns to him. Do you really want to? Yes, Liam replies eagerly. I've always dreamed of it. Amiji nods. I can arrange that. She leads him to one of the mobile spaces, explaining that it operates based on basic instructions. However, for more advanced maneuvers, he must rely on his mind and magic to control it. Liam climbs in and begins experimenting. But before he gets too ahead of himself, Amiji stops him. Learn to walk before you start running, she warns. Liam frowns. Are there weapons on this? Amiji firmly denies his request, saying it's too dangerous. But Liam insists, I need to fight at least once to test it properly. After considering his persistence, Amiji arranges a training match against Captain Machida, an experienced combatant. When Liam meets Machida, he confidently says, get ready. Machida simply nods, whenever you are. As soon as the battle starts, Liam lunges forward, but Machida effortlessly dodges and quickly disarms him. Dude, I lost, Machida says with a smirk. Liam's expression darkens. Are you playing with me just because I'm a kid? Don't hold back. Machida obliges. The moment they engage again, Liam finds himself slammed onto the ground before he even has time to react. He groans in frustration, realizing that real combat is much harder than video games. Determined to improve, Liam demands that his servant find him a proper combat master. The servant resists, insisting that fighting isn't meant for him. But Liam remains stubborn. I need strength to control people and instill fear, he declares. Amiji steps in and calls for a master named Yasushi. When Yasushi arrives, he eyes Liam carefully. Are you the one I should teach? He asks. Liam straightens his posture. Yes, I am Liam from the 7 domains. I want to learn from the best. Yasushi chuckles. The word best has no fixed meaning. In the end, winners and losers are decided in the moment. Instead of trying to be the best, just focus on being good. Amiji watches Yasushi and comments. This boy doesn't seem right. It's like he's waiting for something. Liam responds, a truly strong person is one who can endure emptiness. Curious about Yasushi's abilities, Liam asks, can you show us some of your skills? Yasushi leads them into a dense jungle. I will only demonstrate this once. Watch carefully, he says. Then, in an instant, he shatters several bamboo pieces without seemingly moving. Liam is impressed. He turns to Amiji. Did you see how he did it? Amiji shakes her head. It didn't look like he moved at all. Liam, however, is convinced it was just too fast for them to perceive. He steps forward and says, Sir, let me become your student. Yasushi smirks. Of course, I will take you as my student. That night, Yasushi returns to the same training ground, chuckling to himself. What a foolish child. He actually fell for it. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the galaxy, Princess Christina is engaged in a tense negotiation. Her assistant informs her that they are near the pirate fleet. Connect with them, she orders. The communication link opens, revealing Captain Go. Madam, my name is Go, he greets her. Christina introduces herself as the second princess of the Liba Kingdom. Go eyes her warily. Why have you come here? Are you afraid? Fear is not in my vocabulary, Christina replies coolly. But if something happens to me, I will be injured within seconds. She reveals the vast number of warships and mobile spaces backing her up. Go, however, laughs. You're mistaken. All of those ships and mobile spaces, they belong to me. At that moment, his forces begin surrounding Christina's fleet. So don't expect your people to leave here alive, Go adds. I've invested too much in this operation to back down now. Back in Liam's training camp, he throws himself into his exercises with Yasushi. One day, he suddenly asks, Sir, can I train with you one-on-one? Yasushi looks surprised but allows it. Liam approaches him, his eyes intense. Sir, I just want to know how to master the technique you demonstrated earlier, the flash. Yashushi's expression hardens. No, I agreed to teach you under one condition. I will only show my secret technique once. If you cannot learn it from that, you are not worthy to be my student. Liam clenches his fists, frustrated but understanding that Yasushi will not waver. His desire for power burns even stronger. Liam feels anxious and apologizes to Yasushi, promising not to repeat his mistake. Yasushi accepts, but after Liam leaves, he mutters about how foolish the boy is. Liam returns, feeling his apology is not enough, and insists on giving Yasushi a great gift as a sign of respect. Yasushi hesitates but eventually agrees. Liam then asks if he can return the next day for something important, and Yasushi, feeling exhausted, allows it. Meanwhile, Princess Christina is shown in captivity. Go. Her captor mocks her, calling the prince weak. Christina asks what he plans to do with her, and Go reveals his intention to use her as a bargaining tool. He declares that he will not stop until he wipes out an entire continent, launching an attack with his fleet. Back with Liam, he has been training all night, but still struggles to master his skills. Amity appears, updating him on the country's progress. She apologizes, explaining that the investment they made is not yielding much profit and that they are facing financial difficulties. Liam analyzes the situation and demands to see the person responsible for managing the funds. The next morning, the official arrives, boasting about his work. However, Liam suspects corruption and questions him. The man dismisses Liam as just a child, assuming he lacks understanding. Liam, offended, insists he is not a child and demands answers. He asks why they do not switch suppliers if costs are too high, but the official claims the current supplier is reliable. As Liam continues questioning, Amity intervenes, revealing that the official's assistant disappeared after taking the money. This reminds Liam of his brother's murder, and he directly asks the official if he killed his assistant. The official becomes agitated and avoids answering. Liam, sensing guilt, draws his sword. The official tries to justify his actions, saying the wealthy maintain their power by stepping on others. Enraged, Liam beheads him, declaring that no one who steals from him or harms his people will live. Shaken by what he has done, Liam struggles to let go of his sword. Amity helps him and warns that if this incident is exposed, it could cause major problems. She suggests creating more artificial dolls like herself to handle matters efficiently. Liam agrees and orders her to produce 30 more units while ensuring the dead man's affairs are settled. Elsewhere, people discuss a new, intelligent figure handling finances, preventing corruption. One official doubts Liam's abilities, calling him just a 10-year-old. Another responds that age does not matter. The next night, before starting his training, Liam's master advises him that receiving a gift does not mean he owns it. He must prove himself worthy. Liam asks what he should do, and the captain tells him to use his great-grandfather's suit, but Liam realizes they know little about it. Yasushi muttered while searching for something valuable. There's nothing useful here, and this boy is quickly gaining strength and skills. He's hardworking. Once my training with him ends, I'll lose the chicken that lays golden eggs. I need to buy some time and give him impossible tasks to delay his progress. Leaning against a door, he accidentally opened it and discovered a massive moving knight. Surprised by its size, he remarked, "It's a piece of junk, but I can use this." Later, we encountered Avid, whom he described as a wandering being that collects negative emotions. The scene shifted to Planet Cafe, where an employee asked a man for his order. He replied, "I want a quidenti with some extras," wrapping the request. She confirmed it, brought him the order, and he said, "Of course, that's it, and it has some extras." But when he opened it, he was shocked. Then Avid appeared and said, "This is a great negative emotion. It's delicious." Next, we saw Liam training with Brian. Brian asked, "Is the moving knight of any use?" Liam answered, "It's from teacher Yasushi's instructions. I'll be using it for training." Brian told him, "That was your great-grandfather, Mr. Alistair's favorite unit. I'm happy to see you appreciate it, but wouldn't a more modern unit be better suited for training?" Liam responded, "To be a real pilot, you need to master an old unit that's hard to control." Brian questioned, "So there's no benefit from this training? Isn't it a waste of time?" Liam replied, "It's not a waste, it's an art of mastering the secret technique." He recalled when Yasushi cut a tree, and how he had failed to replicate it afterward. Meanwhile, Amiji approached Avid and asked, "Is Yasushi a skilled trainer?" After searching, she said, "It doesn't matter, the order came from Liam, so I must carry it out." She approached Avid again and said, "I'm going to revive you, and I want you to protect Liam's life." At the 7th Weapons Factory, Nias introduced herself to Liam, saying she was assigned to service the moving knight. Liam told her he was glad to meet her. Nias wondered, could this woman be a robotic human powered by artificial intelligence. Liam replied, "Is there a problem? I know the Empire hates AI, but that doesn't stop it." Nias then approached Doggy and asked, "Is this the Tyrell Nexus F6 Roach's Souls Q5? Impressed, she remarked, "That's amazing. It has full specifications." She said it was the first time she'd seen a robotic human powered by AI and began inspecting her, which made Liam furious. Later, they returned to Avid, and Liam said to Nias, "Please make this unit capable of fighting again." Nias replied, "I think this thing is done for. Buying a new model would be better and cheaper." Liam retorted, "Don't try to sell me your stagnant goods," and insisted on having Avid fully serviced so he could pilot it. Nias warned him that modern battles are fought with 14 to 18 meters models, and no one uses older 24 meters units anymore. She added that there were no spare parts and repairs would be costly. Liam responded, "I don't care. Replace the old parts with new ones of better specs. Keep the manual controls and remove all assistance functions. I want it perfect, no matter the cost." Nias agreed, saying, "Then let me take on this task." Liam concluded, "I'm counting on you, and be sure to add a finishing blow." Questioning her, "All robots have a finishing blow, right? Like a rocket punch?" Nias asked, "What's that?" Liam explained, "You're an expert and you don't know. It's a punch that flies using rockets." After that, Yasushi arrived and said, "Let's see how Avid will be repaired." When he saw Nias, he was impressed and tried to talk to her. However, every time he spoke, she ignored him and continued her conversation with Liam, which irritated Yasushi. Seeing Liam getting close to Nias, Yasushi joked, "I haven't gone easy on him." Later, during training, Yasushi began throwing balls at Liam, who had a cover over his eyes. Yasushi told him, "You won't become a true warrior until you can endure this much." Liam replied, "But I can't see. This sword is too heavy. I can't keep my balance." Yasushi told him, "Don't rely on your eyes. See with your mind, your spirit. Drive with your heart and break through your physical limits." He threw more balls, saying, "Don't think, just feel." When Liam tried, he was hit in the face, and Yasushi happily continued the barrage. Next, in space, a ship piloted by a man named Goaz appeared. He was capturing a group of Fiat, including Princess Christina. He told her to come with him. Christina asked, "Where are you planning to take me?" Goaz answered, "To my island, Treasure Island." Getting closer, he told her she was beautiful, and the more beautiful she became, the more excited he felt. When Christina asked what he planned to do, Goaz, holding the bound princess, said he would add her to his collection. He took her to his lab and asked a doctor about his beast. The doctor apologized, saying it had just died moments ago. Goaz responded, "Then get rid of it," and asked what they should start with. The doctor suggested amputating a leg. Terrified, Christina was magnetically pulled toward them. Goaz then told the doctor to remove one of her eyes and implant it into her hand so she could watch herself become hideous like his other pet. As she stared in horror, they laughed cruelly. Afterward, the scene moved to a bar where an employee's friend and an old man entered. The employee asked for the man's order. He replied, "The usual," and the old man asked how the new job was going. The man said it was a big problem because things were going too smoothly and he was swamped. The employee said it was good he had a job, but the man questioned, "Can things really improve this much just because the boss changed?" The old man said it was even better in his grandfather's time. The employee replied, "I hope we return to those days." The man agreed. Back at Avid headquarters, Liam praised Nias for her work. Brian said he saw Mr. Stair's unit working again, which brought back memories of their glorious days. Nias explained the controls to Liam as he entered Avid, remarking how spacious it was. She told him the space had been magically expanded, and the seat was made of luxurious materials. She initiated the engine and revealed the unit had scanned Liam's piloting data, becoming his personal unit. No one else could operate it now. Liam said he loved the sound and tried to take off, but the unit flipped. He asked what happened. Nias explained it lacked automatic balance and assist functions, making it difficult to control. But once mastered, it would perform like any other unit. Liam accepted the challenge and started moving it, which made Brian cry, reminded of Stir, Liam's grandfather. Nias praised Liam, saying he was doing well for a first run. Liam said he had trained hard in the simulator for this day. Nias emphasized that imagination was key to controlling the unit and prompted him to imagine while pressing a button. Later, Liam resumed training with Amagi and tried cutting a tree again, but failed. Frustrated, he said there was no use. He couldn't grasp the secret art of the blinking style. Amagi handed him a towel. Liam asked, "What should I do? I can't even see a path forward." maybe I don't have any talent. Amaji replied, I'm artificial intelligence, so I can't measure things like talent. But I don't believe you lack anything, sir. The problem lies in Yasushi's teachings. Liam asked if she meant Yasushi was the problem. Amaji confirmed, saying the issue was Liam's over-reliance on him. He didn't trust Master Yasushi enough, which caused him to misinterpret the teachings. She replied that wasn't what she meant. He then said that there is magic in this world, and if something physically impossible occurs, it means magic is at work, right? The sword is just a tool to assist in imagination, much like piloting a moving knight. In reality, it's not the sword that cuts the opponent. It's the intention behind waving the sword to cut magically. He practiced several times until he succeeded in cutting the tree. Afterward, Liam joined Yasushi and told him he was ready. He then used his sword and successfully cut the tree, greatly surprising Yasushi. He asked Liam, "Did you see that?" Liam replied, "Of course." Liam asked again if he had succeeded now. The master muttered to himself, thinking about forgetting success because if he could cut what couldn't be cut, he would be the winner. Yasushi told Liam, "You did well in keeping up with my teaching, but you still have a long way to go to reach its true essence." He advised him to keep refining his skills without becoming arrogant. Liam replied, "Of course." As they moved, Yasushi wondered what was going on with this boy. He couldn't believe it and found it frustrating that Liam had cut the tree without using his sword. Next, we moved to Liam's home, where he received information about pirates targeting a part of King Banfield's facility on the resource planet Mikai. Amaji mentioned that the tough environment and mining operations had been left alone, but she had built a facility on it to generate profit. Liam learned that the pirates had taken down flying knights, and the army was resisting, but it was unclear how long they could hold out. Liam asked Amaji about their strategy. She explained that he needed to approach the planet's blind spot near the mining facility, use the horizon as a shield during the attack, and descend with air brakes during the rotation due to gravity to surprise the pirates from above. Liam said, "That's good," and ordered all ships to prepare for battle. He instructed them to take over the pirate ships, stating he would go with them to defend the facility. Brian told Liam not to go fight the pirates alone. Liam told him to be quiet, saying he wouldn't forgive anyone who touched his property, and that it was time to show Master Yasushi skills. The ships prepared, and Liam merged with the Avid. Amaji told Liam they were ready to launch. He replied, "Good, launch me." Afterward, Liam took off in the Avid and attacked one of the pirates from behind, eliminating him. The remaining pirates struck at Liam, but he vanished without harm. He reappeared and destroyed another pirate. The pirates scattered, but Liam continued to take them down. Two pirates approached from behind, but he used his sword to defeat them. Then shots were fired at Liam, but he drew his gun, aimed, and caused one pirate to explode. He then launched several strikes, causing more explosions. When the pirates gathered in front of Liam, he used the blinking style and secret art to destroy a group of pirates, causing the rest to flee. However, Liam didn't stop, saying he would take them down with his finishing move. He aimed for a rocket punch, but the punch didn't come from his hands and instead shot out, surprising him. He said, "This isn't the finishing move I want." Nias told him it was the rocket punch he requested. Liam replied that it was a rocket shaped like a punch, but it wouldn't be a punch if it didn't come from the Avid's hands. Nias responded, "But it's much stronger than Avid's hand." Then, Amaji arrived and informed Liam that she hadn't succeeded in capturing any of the pirates. Liam asked what happened to the rest. Amaji told him that 30% were destroyed and 60% escaped. Liam responded, "That's good work. Well done, Amaji." She replied, "I'm honored by your praise."